everyone, my name is Nicola. I am simply a stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, it's great to have you, and if you are returning, thank you for coming and spending some more time with me today. So today's my weekly Flosstube update, where I share with you what I've been working on over the last 7 days. And much like last week, a little later on I'll be giving an update as to my life, my health and all the rest of it. So if you're here for the stitching, excuse me, this is the part that you guys will be interested in. So over the last 7 days I have worked on 6 projects and I have completed 10,000 stitches on my projects. I've also been working on a model stitch, but because it's not pattern keeper compatible, I can't include that in what I've been doing because I don't have a number of stitches. So next week the number will go way up because I should be adding 9,000 model stitches in. I don't even want to guesstimate what's in it. It's quite a large piece. Anyway, so as I said, I've worked on 6 projects, 10,000 stitches exactly. So I'm off work at the moment. Again, I'll catch up on that a bit later. So obviously, you know, I've had, you know, extra time, stitchy time. So what have I been working on? First one I worked on, oh, I've got to put my screen rotate on. Come on, there we go. First one I've worked on is this piece. It was out on a stitch with me. This is B. It's by Lorna Laine, charted and kitted by Geckorouge. B, there we go. So stitched 1/1 full cross on some 25 count fabric. Bag behind it because I don't have anything else. I put in 1,000 stitches. As I said, it was out on a stitch with me, and I worked in this area here, this flower, and along here. So very happy with that. 1,000 stitches of progress, 17.05 to 18.58%. So yeah, happy days. As I said, 1/1 full cross, 25 count. Most of my projects are, but if I do forget to tell you, it's all in the box below. So I'll just pop B away. Got my project bag. Sorry, zips. I do forget to sort the zips out. Okay, that's B done. Okay, next piece that I worked on. It was also out on a stitch with me this week. This one was my stitch with me with chat. And it was this piece. This is Evelina. And it's an Anita in Variety Charts, again charted and kitted by Geckorouge. It was a limited one last year, and I snagged it. This was out on my chatty stitch with me this week. This one again is a 25 count, 1/1 full cross. There's lots of hanging threads on this one. No, it's not. It's 28 count, 1/1 full cross. I put in 1,000 stitches. Whilst I was on my stitch with me, I put in that leaf, but I've done 1,000 stitches, and this top end of the pole is now complete as well. So yeah, 9.14 to 10.55%, 1,000 stitches in on this 28 count. It's the only piece I've got on 28 count. So if we just pop Evelina away. Oh, excuse me. Okay, let me just turn it so I can see the project actually, and then I can see it at a glance, because most of my project bags have a clear front. I like to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, so next piece that I've worked on, oh no, come on, is, oh, do you know, I'm not doing very well today. It's a Paine Free Crafts piece. Thank you. And it's Sailing Fairy. It's a Nadia Strelkina chart. I do believe this is now retired, unfortunately. This was out for some rotation stitches this week. Almost at a milestone with this one. So this one is stitched on some 25 count again, 1/1 full cross. Still in the frame, but I should take it out in a second. And yeah, I've been working on this sort of butterfly and across here, filling in this next row, typewriter method. And then when I've done that, I should be curling round and going back that way. So 1,000 stitches, 25 count, 1/1 full cross. And this has gone from 28.53 to 29.17%. So we are probably about 800 stitches away from 30%, which will be really good. Be a little milestone reached. So just to show you the, left a clip, just to show you the full piece. It's not ironed, don't do ironing until I've completed them. So there we go, almost 30% complete on this one. So yeah, absolutely enjoying that piece. It's one of 2 Paine Free Crafts that I've got. No, 3. Kitted by Paine Free Crafts. This one's charted and kitted, the only chart. The other ones are Ice Dragon, which is somebody else, and the Scarlet Quince one. But Paine Free Crafts kitted it. It's by the by. Okay. So my Sunday stitch this week. If you join me on my live stream on Sunday, you'll have seen me working on this. This is Daughter of the Deep, artwork by Josephine Wall and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I am doing the supersize max colour version, and that is so bright you can't really see the details, but if I just try and reduce it a bit, that's better. So as you can see, it's a really, really detailed piece. There's going to be loads of confetti in this one, but I'm not there yet. So I'm still fairly up at the top on this piece. So Daughter of the Deep had quite a good run. On Sunday it had 2,200 stitches, and it's worked 1/1 full cross on 25 count, and I'm working this in 80 by 80 stitch squares because that's what lends itself to the hoop that I'm using. It's the only reason. And I'm cross countrying in these squares. I was working diagonally, but I've changed to cross country. So yeah, worked on this one in my stream last night, and obviously these are the very tops of the reefs. So happy with that. And this has gone 5.81 to 6.09%. So 6% milestone reached on a supersized max colour is not too shabby. So I'll just pop her away in her project bag. Okay. So next piece that I worked on in my Facebook group. If you're in my Facebook group, I do a monthly sale. No. And I'm doing it this time over 2 months, naughty or nice, for over Christmas, and then we'll start again with, you know, selling the new year for Props New Year, new start in January. The reason why I've gone with naughty or nice is it's a bit like the Pleasure and Pain, but of course it can be go onto a Christmas theme, so you use the prompting whichever way is best for you. If you're not in the Facebook group, the link is in the description box below this video. It's a couple of joining questions. If it's not evident you're a stitcher, you won't be admitted. So please do answer the questions. So I chose a piece to work on that, which is for that prompt, which is this piece. It's my nice piece. This is CatDalph. It's Malcolm Watson, Heaven and Earth Designs. And I've chosen this one for my nice piece because it's on 14 count fabric. It's my only full coverage large piece that's on 14 count. On the back of me doing a wedding sampler back in September, August, September, I really enjoyed working on the 14 counts. I figured I've got a piece big enough, why not do a full coverage on 14 count? I know it works because Gemma Stitches is doing one as well. So CatDalph, I was 200 stitches short last week because I hadn't managed to start the November stitches. I've caught those up and this week's stitches, so this has had 900 stitches. So stitch 2/1 on 14 count fabric, and from about here down I've been sort of filling in. So this is a top left, 1.48 to 1.84%, and as I said, 900 stitches in. So this week this piece will get another 700 stitches, 100 a day, to keep in touch with the stitch along. And my last piece that I've worked on, which is my focus for a finish, has had slightly less stitches this week due to my model stitch, and it's this piece, and this is Unicorn. Again, it's the Lorna Laine piece, Geckorouge. Really lovely piece to work on. Full coverage within that border, but obviously the leaf and sort of strand border, if you like, is not full coverage. So yeah, it's had 3,900 stitches in this week. 1/1 full cross on some 25 count. So I've done quite a lot in here. I've also worked quite a lot in the unicorn's face, and I seem to be sort of gravitating to an anti-clockwise direction. I also put in some on the top of the mane on my live stream because it's easier to work on upper sections when I'm streaming because of camera angles and setting up my magnifier and so on. But I'm hoping to sort of get further down and see about this banner. I might have to move the hoop down, but I won't do that until after I've done my Wednesday stream this week. But yeah, 3,900 stitches, 22.8 to 28.54%. So quite a good increase this week. So yeah, but there we go. That is my unicorn, and that is 10,000 cross stitches this week, as I said, as well as my model stitch. So how do I stand on my path to 500,000? Well, I am nearly there. 450,344 stitches as of last night, which was the 9th of November, Sunday. My week runs up into Sunday night, so I am definitely on target to make that. I had a couple of shout outs this week, or in the last sort of couple of weeks. One of them is Sam. Let me just find her channel name. I will link these in the description box below. But I've had a couple of shout outs which I forgot to talk about last week. Obviously my mind was on other things. Mentions. There we go. Yeah, Stitchy Sam, and oh, that was the only one. My apologies. So Stitchy Sam mentioned me. I will link her channel down below. I also want to give a shout out. I have been watching quite a lot of Flosstube since I've been off work, obviously, and I have been watching, you may have seen her, you may not, Jen's Stitchy Corner. She's having a full coverage month, and she's doing a spinny wheel for the entire month of November. And I do hope you don't mind, Jen, but I may well be stealing that idea for February and thinking about doing a full coverage February next year in the same sort of way. So if you don't mind, you know, do let me know. I'm sure you won't, because you're a lovely lady. I've been watching your videos and I've really enjoyed the daily updates this week. They're just long enough, I think. And, you know, definitely, you know, have kept me coming back, you know, every day for more. So thank you. What's coming up on the channel this week? So let me just sort out my list. We have got Night Cafe, which is due for rotation stitches. I'm filming a stitch with me with that with ASM, no, alternative with music. My chatty stitch with me this week will feature Gogh Never Passed. Unicorn is out for rotation stitches. and then one to rule them all. Did I say that? Yeah, then one to rule them all is my Sunday stitch this week. So Night Cafe didn't get any spare stitches this week, so I'm quite glad that it's out for a rotation stitches. Unicorn having rotation stitches will obviously ensure that it gets a little bit further towards its finish. And One to Rule Them All, it'd be nice to see that one out. So we've got 2 Lord of the Rings inspired pieces out this week, and One to Rule Them All will take up my Sunday. So yeah, that's everything stitchy related. So if you're here just for the stitching, oh, there's one more thing I'd like to mention. I have a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description, and also you may or may not have noticed I've got super thanks that's enabled, and it's enabled both for streaming and on regular videos. There have been a number of donations this week to both of those, and I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you very, very much. I've had donations from Buy Me a Coffee, which is towards framing, because everything that goes into my Buy Me a Coffee, I do ring fence for framing. I've got Mary Princess with the framer at the moment. I will be collecting it at the February retreat, and I plan on the 2 kitty cats going off to be framed in February. And also super thanks, I've had an extraordinary donation with the message on my last Flosstube, with the message for me to treat myself, and thank you very, very much. I will treat myself. I've also had some stitchy kindness come through the post. I'm not going to show it because it will I haven't had permission from the person who sent me, but there was a parcel arrived last week for all the family, and there were gifts for each of us as individuals plus a family gift as well. So to the wonderful lady, and you know who you are, who sent that, thank you very, very, very much. I have the opportunity to try something new, and yeah, I'm so looking forward to it, and I'm just thrilled that you took the time to think of us and made such thoughtful a gift to us all. I'm so touched. Thank you. So that's that. So that's, I think now is definitely all the stitching news. So I'm going to talk a little bit about life. So if you're here just for the stitching, thank you very, very much, and I will see you next video. But if you're interested in hearing a little bit about me and about what's going on, then do stick around. So I've been back to the doctors this week. I am off work for a further 2 weeks, and then I have some annual leave for 10 days. Whether or not I go back on that depends on how I feel during my annual leave. I'll be going to see the doctor and having a review. I had got some therapy scheduled for tomorrow, but I've had a text message today. Unfortunately, it's had to be cancelled and delayed until next week. So it's going to be a little while before I get to talking therapy. But that's okay. I'm still just dealing with being me and doing what I need to do. This last week, things have gradually got better. I'm not going to lie. I felt a bit better, but then the stress of work has not been there. And at the minute, I can't even think about bringing work back into the equation. It's too much right now. Obviously, I've dedicated quite a lot of time to my craft because it makes me happy. So, and Andy knows that if I've got needle and thread in my hand, he knows that everything, all is well with me. Or he thinks all is well with me. It's not necessarily the case, but So my anxiety levels seem to have come down. I've been having attacks during the day, but they certainly seem to have somewhat lessened off over the last week, which I am hugely grateful for. The medication that I was put on won't have kicked in just yet, but we will be getting there. And I know that it's obviously my body's taking it in because it's making me nauseous. There's not a lot I can do about that. And I was saying to the doctor today, bizarrely, it's first of all about half an hour after I've taken it, which is in the morning, and then about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I get another wave of nausea. It's really, really strange, but it is to be expected. So hopefully the nausea will settle down in the next few days, week or so. I've been sleeping better, but I'm still waking up tired. I've tried to, and the doctor approves of this, I've tried to stick to the same routine with the exception of work. So everything else in my life is the same. I go to bed at the same time, I get up at the same time, I do my shopping on the same day, you know, I do my slimming class, and I do this and I do that, and so on and so forth. So I try and keep everything the same just to keep that consistency there. So yeah, I'm just still a little tired and just not ready for work quite yet, but I will get there. I have, you know, every faith that I'll get there. I've got the support of the GP and of course of the family as well. Excuse me. Oh, second little frog in my throat, not cross-stitch frog. That's so much better. Okay, so that's the way things are at the moment. Of course, the weight loss, the diet thing has gone out the window. We went to class on Thursday. We popped in. It was just an open, what they call an open weigh, a weigh and go kind of thing, because the lady who was running the class is actually poorly. And I had a gain, but it's not unexpected, because when you're not happy, you know, you eat your misery, you eat your pain. And I know that I've overdone it. There's been times when I've overdone it, and that's absolutely on me. But, you know, I'm still accountable, and I'm still, you know, just keeping an eye on things. I'm not overly trying, and I'm certainly not stressing myself out. I can't. There's just no sense in that. So that is it. That's where we are at the minute. So everything will still continue. I'll still do my Flosstube, my Stitch with Me's, my live streams, and so on. Just to remind you as well, I do have a presence on TikTok. So if you are on TikTok, please do go and try and find me. And of course on Instagram, although I don't post on Instagram very much these days at all. That was the other mention I'd had. I'd had a mention on Instagram from Danielle, Cardiff Stitcher. Danielle, thank you, Danielle. So, but I'm not on Instagram very much. I'm just mainly on YouTube, and I do post on TikTok 2 or 3 times a week. So if you are on TikTok, you know, do go and have a look. But I think that's everything, really. There's not actually an awful lot left to say. Lauren's in college today. Hannah is upstairs. She's struggling at the minute. She's got a sore shoulder. She was at the dogs, and one of the dogs pulled a little bit, and she's torn a muscle in her bicep. So she's a little bit, you know, like a one-arm bandit at the moment. And Andy is just Andy. He doesn't change, bless him. But yeah, that's everything. So thank you guys very much indeed for watching. Please do double check, just make sure you're still subscribed. 3 videos will be coming up on your screen in a minute. If you've not seen those, to take a few minutes to have a look. Please leave me a thumbs up, leave a comment, even if it's just an emoji. Any engagement is good engagement, and it helps me no end on this platform. So with that said, thank you very much indeed for watching, everybody. Do take care. Happy stitching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.